I know my way around Arduino and ESP microcontrollers, but when it comes to developing mobile applications to interface with those boards for cool IoT projects, I'm a complete beginner. But guess what? That's not going to stop me from creating fully functional mobile app with zero programming on app side. How, you ask? By using an amazing platform called Blynk. It makes integrating your Arduino projects with mobile devices easy and hassle-free. If it's intriguing, stick around and I will show you how it's done. In this video, I will explain how a Blynk device interacts with the Blynk Cloud to control an LED connected to an ESP8266 microcontroller. In this setup, a mobile phone running a Blynk app is connected to the internet via my home Wi-Fi access point. The Blynk project is registered with the Blynk Cloud using template ID, template name, along with a unique authentication token. These credentials link the Blynk app on your mobile phone to the Blynk Cloud service. The values shown here are specific to my project. If you create your own Blynk project, you will need to replace these values with the ones generated for your project during setup. On the microcontroller side, the Arduino Sketch running on ESP8266 also includes the same template ID, template name, and authentication token. When the ESP8266 starts up, it connects to my home Wi-Fi access point and authenticates with the Blynk Cloud using these credentials. This establishes a secure communication between the microcontroller and the Blynk Cloud. In this project, the V0 data stream is configured as a button in the Blynk app. When you press the button, the updated value, either 0 or 1, travels from your mobile device through the home Wi-Fi access point and is sent to the Blynk Cloud service. The Blynk Cloud processes the change and relays the new value of V0 back to ESP8266 microcontroller through the same Wi-Fi access point. On the ESP8266, the Arduino Sketch contains a callback function that listens for updates on virtual pin V2. When the new value is received, the function determines whether the LED connected to pin D2 should be turned on or off. If the value of V2 is 1, the microcontroller sends a signal to D2, turning the LED on. If the value is 0, the LED is turned off. When I look back at the project where I control the LED lamp from an internet browser using URL, the computer or mobile phone controlling the lamp had to be on the same local area network. If I tried to connect from different hotspot, it wouldn't work unless I configured IP forwarding on my access point router. Here with Blynk I can connect to the internet from any destination worldwide, and it works seamlessly without requiring any additional network configuration. The communication between Blynk app, Cloud and ESP8266 is not limited to controlling devices. It is equally possible to send data the other way around. For example, you can connect sensors to the ESP8266, read their data and send it to the Blynk Cloud. From there, the sensor data can be sent back to your mobile device, allowing real-time monitoring of the sensor through the app. But this is the topic for a whole new video. In terms of connectivity, this project is as straightforward as it gets. We have a microcontroller and a LilyPad LED. I am using this particular LED because it has a built-in current limiting resistor, making the setup even simpler. Connectivity is that simple. The negative side of the LED connects to the microcontroller's ground, and the positive side connects to one of the digital pins. In this case, it's digital pin 2. I have preloaded the microcontroller with the classic Blynk Sketch, and as you can see, it works. The LED toggles on and off every second. Now let's shift our focus to a different kind of Blynk, spelled with Y. This is the mobile app and the main focus of this video. I am using an iPhone, but an app is also available for Android devices and can even be configured via PC using the web interface. Let's open the Apple Store and search for Blynk app. I have already installed it, but if you haven't, you will see the option to download it and install it. If you're installing it for the first time, the app will ask you for your email address. After a standard verification process, you'll set up a password and you're ready to go. When I open the app, there is nothing configured yet. We have an option to create a new device manually or use the Quick Start wizard, which automates a lot of the setup for us. For this project, I will create the device manually because it's the best way to learn. However, let's quickly explore the Quick Start option, as it can still teach us a thing or two. The first step is to select the type of the microcontroller. There are plenty of options to choose from. I am only familiar with a few. What's important is that the microcontroller we are using is on the list. For this project, we will select the ESP8266. Next, we choose the connectivity type. While there are several options, we'll stick with Wi-Fi for this project. And that's it. The device, or more accurately the app to control the device, is created. It comes with a predefined name and 3 widgets. A text field labeled Uptime, which will likely display the microcontroller's uptime once it connects to the Blynk Cloud. Another text field to show the state of the button, and the button widget that can toggle its state. However, you will notice that the button state isn't currently affecting the button state text field. One interesting thing happens in the background during device creation. You will receive an email at the address associated with the Blynk account. In that email, you will find a checklist of steps needed to get the project up and running, starting with installing the necessary library. We'll cover that step shortly. Along with the other useful information, there is a link to a sample Arduino code for the automatically generated template and device. Let's click that link. Here it is. While we won't dissect the code in detail, we'll focus on 3 key sections relevant to us at this stage. The first section contains the authentication information to register the Arduino Sketch with Blynk Cloud. You will see the same details in the right-hand panel as well. When creating templates and devices manually, these values will be unique for each template and device you create. Next, you will find the library declaration. For this project, we will use a different version of the library, tailored specifically for the ESP8266 microcontroller. Lastly, you will need to provide access credentials for internet connectivity, such as connecting to your home hotspot. Before we return to the mobile app, let's sketch a simple diagram showing how the different components of this project interact. We start by creating the template. Within the template, we create a device. Each device comes with a dashboard that starts empty at first. To interact with a microcontroller, we need to create data streams. You have an option to create virtual pins, which can be associated with microcontroller pins or used simply to send or receive data from the microcontroller. For more specific control, you can use an enum type for virtual pins, which provides a list of accepted values, or create a digital pin with just on-off states, or an analog pin with a range of values. Let's create 2 data streams, one for an LED linked to virtual pin 0, allowing values of 0 or 1 to control an on-off state of the LED. The second data stream, LED dim, will be connected to virtual pin V1, allowing a range of values from 0 to 255 for controlling the brightness of the LED. There is a wide selection of widgets available to customize the dashboard. For this project, we'll just need the 2. We will begin by adding a button widget, which will be associated with the LED data stream. Then we'll create a slider widget and link it to the LED dim data stream. In the Arduino code, we can associate virtual pin V0 with a digital pin to control the LED directly. Meanwhile, virtual pin V1 doesn't need to be connected to any physical pin. Instead, it sends a value that the microcontroller will use to set the brightness of the LED. Now let's go to Blynk Cloud and take a look at our device. Here it is. When I double-click it, I can open the web dashboard where we can see the 3 widgets we have previously seen on the mobile dashboard. It's important to note that while the web dashboard may look similar to the mobile dashboard, but they are 2 separate entities. Changes made to one will not be reflected on the other. Next, let's navigate to Developer Zone. Here we see the available templates. Just one in our case, which is the one our device is using. When I double-click on the template, I can view all its underlying components, including our Quick Start device. We can also see the data streams created by the Quick Start wizard. By double-clicking on any data stream, I can explore its configuration in detail. With all the Blynk knowledge we have gained so far, I think we are ready to create a template and device manually. First, let's delete the Quick Start template. The app prompts us to confirm, as deletion permanently removes the template and all associated objects. This action cannot be undone. Now let's create a new template. I will name it LED Control. We will select the type of a microcontroller and connectivity and add a meaningful description. The app guides us through the process step by step. First, there is template configuration. This is something we have already completed. Next, we will move to setting up data streams. As planned, we will create two data streams. One for the LED connected to virtual pin V0 with values 0 or 1. And another called LED dim connected to virtual pin V1 with an integer range of 0 to 255 for setting LED brightness. Next, we can configure the web dashboard. Since we intend to use control widgets on the mobile phone dashboard, we will leave the web dashboard empty. The last step is to create a device. Currently, no device have been created for this template, so let's create one now. We'll choose the option to create a device from the template and select the template we just created. The device is automatically assigned to the same name as the template. Once the device is created, the screen displays the credentials needed to register the device in the Blynk Cloud. These credentials must also be referenced in your Arduino Sketch. And that's it. We have successfully set up our template and device. Now let's pause here and write Arduino Sketch for this project. I almost forgot to mention the library installation. To install the library, open the Library Manager in Arduino IDE. Simply search for Blynk in the search bar and you will find the library you need. Once you see it, click Install. I have already completed this step, so we are all set. Now let's go back to the code. First, we'll define template ID, template name, and authentication token required for connecting the device to Blynk Cloud. Then I will include the necessary libraries for Wi-Fi and Blynk functionality on the ESP8266. Next, we'll set up the Wi-Fi credentials by providing the SSID and password of the network. After that, we'll define the LED pin as digital pin D2. We'll also create a function to handle changes of virtual pin V0. The function will be triggered whenever the value of V0 changes in the Blynk app. It will update the LED state, turning it on or off based on the receiving value 0 or 1. In the setup function, we'll configure the LED pin as an output, ensure the LED is initially off, and connect the ESP8266 to the Blynk Cloud using the authentication credentials. Finally, in the loop function, the device will continuously communicate with the Blynk Cloud, processing incoming commands and maintaining a stable connection. With this setup, our device is ready to respond to commands from the Blynk app. The next steps will be performed in the mobile app. When I open the Blynk app on my phone, you will notice that the Quick Start device is no longer visible, and instead we see LED Control device. Let's open it. As expected, we see an empty mobile dashboard. Now let's check if the data streams we created earlier are present. And there they are. Perfect. Next, let's add a button widget. I will place it in the center of the screen and resize it. We'll configure it as a switch to make it self-latching. The button will be associated with the LED data stream. This means the button will send values of 0 or 1, allowing us to control the LED. I will also edit button state labels so they indicate that we are changing the status of the LED. And finally, after over 10 minutes of detailed explanations, it's time to bring our little project to life. When I press the button, I get the message that the device is offline. Let's fix it. I will start by powering up the device. As you can see, the preloaded Blynk sketch is still running. Let's go ahead and load the new code we just created. Uploading the code to the ESP8266 always takes a bit of patience. It feels like forever, but it's finally done. Now, the moment of truth. Will it work? Oh wait, it's not responding yet. Let's give it a second to register with the Blynk Cloud. And there we go, it's working now. The LED responds instantly to the changes in the button's status. Success! Let's test one last scenario. Right now, both the microcontroller and my iPhone are connected to my Wi-Fi hotspot. I will go into my iPhone settings and disable Wi-Fi, switching to mobile data through my carrier, Orange. The big question, will it still be able to control the LED? And the answer is yes. For all we know, I could be halfway across the globe, relaxing on a beach connected to a local hotspot, and I will still be able to control the LED just as seamlessly. We were supposed to add one more widget to control LED brightness, but by now I am confident that you can handle adding the slider widget and programming it yourself. If you get stuck, don't worry. I have added this as a bonus material. You can find it on Patreon and in the membership section of this channel. I have really enjoyed working on this project, and I am excited to create more videos showcasing what Blynk is capable of. Here's to fantastic year 2025. I hope to see you back here more often so we can explore Blynk, Arduino, and so much more together. I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao.